more far, about 10 kilo, there are a lot of tanks and people trying to prevent even some types of food and some things to enter to the Zawiya city.
So,
but now, this morning, the situation...
You say the situation is calm, but
yes.
just to come back to one of your points there, you say that there are people preventing food from entering a Zawiya?
Yes, some sort of vegetables and things. Some people, they came to bring and they prevent them. This information we had get half an hour back or 1 hour back.
So are people able to get food? Are people able to get food in the city? Are you able to go about your daily lives?
Until now we have, yes. We have food and we have things which are satisfied. But for the information we have got today, that they are starting preventing some sort of foods to enter.
Okay, so you fear that there might be a shortage in the future?
Yes, in the future we think will be shortage if they will progressively prevent these things from coming in. Otherwise, we are very quiet here. No attacks now. Today morning, everything is quiet. The situation is good.
Okay, so it's quiet this morning, but do you fear that the pro-Gaddafi forces are near Zawiya and are preparing for a major offensive? And if so, how are you, the residents in Zawiya, getting ready?
Yes. Yesterday, we have got information that Colonel Gaddafi had attached to some people of Zawiya, telling them that if they will come out of Zawiya, I will attack them. I will bomb even by the Air Force.
So
yes, they said that if they will come out of Zawiya, maybe we'll attack them even with Air Force.
Okay, are they plans then? Are they plans then for residents there to come out of Zawiya and perhaps head to other cities to retake other cities in western Libya?
Maybe for the future, but now we can't. We have to keep our city occupied, and because of these troops of Gaddafi military camps, we are prevented to go out.
Okay, so you can't go out of Zawiya just yet. Thank you very much for speaking to us. That's a resident of the Libyan city of Zawiya telling us about their fears there, fears of food shortages, notably as he says that Gaddafi forces are preventing food from entering the city. Now, condemnation from outside Libya is mounting. Foreign ministers are in Geneva for a UN Human Rights Council meeting. They've agreed unanimously on action against Gaddafi.
The international community is speaking with one voice, and our message is unmistakable. These violations of universal rights are unacceptable and will not be tolerated.
We're trying to respond in real time to the crisis and, of course, to avoid the civil war that we fear, and making contingency plans to respond to the potential flow of refugees to neighbouring and to European countries.
Well, Jennifer Razami-Manana is a spokeswoman for the U.S. State Department. She describes how the U.S. is planning to bring in aid to those in need in Libya.
We are repositioning some of our military assets closer to Libya in preparation for humanitarian relief. As you may know, the military played an important role in providing quick and effective assistance to earthquake victims in Pakistan, in Haiti, and in other places. And we're very focused right now on the humanitarian suffering that we're seeing taking place. So with members of the international community, with the Red Cross, with other organizations, with all of our partners, we're working very quickly to bring in the humanitarian assistance and getting it as quickly as we can to those who need it.
Well, as the fighting goes on inside Libya, governments are continuing to evacuate their people from the country. There were tears of relief from this Pakistani man as he arrived home at Lahore airport. He was among 170 evacuated on a specially chartered flight. In New Delhi, another 266 Indians have arrived home on a special Air India flight. Around 18,000 Indians were working in Libya before the unrest. 150 more migrant workers arrived home in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, on Monday. Kenya says the flight was delayed by 3 days because Egypt refused to give clearance, citing safety concerns. Meanwhile, Nigerians evacuated from Libya are accusing the Gaddafi regime of atrocities against them. Nearly 1,000 have been flown home in the past 2 days, while another 1,000 are awaiting rescue.
I have so many friends in Libya. They told me that they cannot speak because Gaddafi has killed their cousins and uncles. He destroyed them all.
I thank God because I'm free today. And I'm not going back to any Arab world. I will never travel to any Arab world again.
Now, the news now. There's been more violence in Yemen. One person has reportedly been killed in the fighting in the town of Laji in the south of the country. Meanwhile, opposition groups have gathered for more anti-government protests in the capital, Sana'a, this Tuesday. Government forces have been trying to block protesters from entering the capital. President Ali Abdullah Saleh said on Monday he plans to announce a unity government. He's expected to speak shortly. Let's cross live now to the Yemeni capital, Sana'a, and speak to AlJazeera's Hashim Al-Bara. Hashim, bring us first up to date with the latest. There are major protests going on today in the Yemeni capital.
Absolutely. There was a huge gathering outside the university campus here in the capital where thousands of anti-government protesters along with the opposition gathered, pressing for the departure of President Ali Abdullah Saleh, rejecting his reform package and saying that it's too late and he has to understand that it's now time for him to go. Ali Abdullah Saleh is still defiant. Just 1 hour ago, he met with teachers at the Medicine University and he lashed out at President Obama and saying that the wave of reform which is now sweeping the Arab world is media managed in Tel Aviv, and that they are trying to blow it out of proportion in this part of the world. And he addressed President Obama, telling him, Mr. Obama, you are the President of the United States of America. You're not the President of the Arab world. So he's asking the international community to stop interfering in the affairs of the Arab world by insisting on saying that they're inspired by what's happening in the Arab world. It's a very significant development. It shows that Ali Abdullah Saleh is not really willing to bow into the demand of departure, and at the same time he will cling to power for as long as it takes to show the world that he has been describing himself a legitimately elected president.
It's certainly also very significant that he's accusing the U.S., given that he's been a long-time ally of the United States in the so-called war on terror in the region. Now, he's expected to speak shortly, I understand, Hashim. Again, he's offered a national unity government to the opposition, which they have rejected. What else can he do at this stage?
It's a perfect situation of impact here in the country, Yemen. The offer was rejected, and he's saying that I cannot keep giving you concessions because the moment I give more concessions, you would ask for more. The opposition is gathering, as we understand now, to try to set the situation in Yemen and come up with a final statement late in the day. However, the demands of the street, the demands of the opposition are really high at this particular moment. They are saying that the only way to defuse tension in Yemen